I'm wondering if it's better to actually have my face be seen or just to not have my face be seen. I don't know, it depends on the people. Yeah. Anyway, so hello everyone. This is Gregory. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I have my Deli is here. He's been traveling all over the place, and yes, he has been. He has done a whole lot of traveling. And then we have also some cool things I want to bring to your attention. Today's Wednesday, and I know right now many people aren't here, but you will be. And when you look at this video later in the future, you will be here. So just want to go ahead and give a shout out and say hello to everyone. I have my lizard Barb with me. She's on my shoulder. I'm going to put her down for a little bit on the table so you guys can see her. Tonight is a chat and sculpt. Here's Barb. As you can see, here's Barb. I'll put her down right here, right next to Deli. Yeah, so Barb is next to Deli. And what we're going to do today, we're going to have some nice arts for you. I'm going to have my lizard here, and I'm going to try and have my hands so much she can actually see. So what we're going to do in the meantime, I'm going to have Barb's going to be looking at me, and I'm going to look back at her. And you know, I found that bearded dragons, they like soft things, and they'll be blankets and stuff like that. I don't know, something about their makeup and the way they are made. I don't know, they just love things that are soft. So what I'm going to do is give her some of this foam, a little bit of this foam right here. Might keep her like really happy. She's been doing really. We've had her for about. She'll be 7 years old. She's about 7 years old. When we got her, she was about 2 years old, and so we're gonna have her right on the smooth things here. Here's my information right here. So you have like masking tape, sculpture, and art. And so this is one of my brochures, but I had to chop it up to make it into things. So what we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna have Barb will be here. She'll be in charge of the show. I'm gonna push this back a little bit so that way you can have a little bit better view. I should put my headphones on. Is what I really should do, but tonight we're going to have a wonderful program for you, a wonderful program with our live lizard and focus. And I'm going to show it this way instead of showing my face, because most people, I don't know, it depends on where it is. Some people say they like to see me or like to see the aspect of what we're doing here. So just want to say thank you so much for joining our show tonight. We're going to have a wonderful time. Let me raise my volume up so let me know if you guys hear me. You guys can hear everything I'm talking about. We're going to say there's cool Barbie right there. There's cool Barbie. Yep. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and start the program. So, what do we have here? Happy Wednesday to everybody. That's a him and Bearded Dragon Barb. I'm going to go ahead and just get my paint. We're going to start the program. Let's start this up. Let's cook this right up. I want to thank anybody who's watching today to give me some ideas of what you'd like for me to make. I'm going to put the chat to top messages as well as all messages so we all can see. And so the point of tonight is I want to make sure you guys can see that there's actually like a really wonderful opportunity. This is my Bearded Dragon Barb. She's here and pretty much just here saying that this today. And I want to give a shout out to one of our friends who gave a really cool, one of my friends, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Raina, artist, 76 artist. She had some really cool artwork she gave, but also she did a commission for us, and this is the commission. It was pretty cool. This is one of her really cool designs. This is one of her cool designs here. It's a candle, and it's like this really nice bright artist, Raina 76. She makes this really cool, really very, very cool bottle right here. This cool design, and she puts artwork onto the bottle itself. And this is actually a wax candle, so it actually burns as a really nice candle type thing. Right, it's a wax candle. So there you have that. Very cool, very cool. So there's some of the cool items there. There's Barb, there's Deli, and let's start with the tapes. Okay, I'll have to start with a fresh tape this time because what happens is I don't have to have it. I just seem to not have any tapes with me at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and have this tape here. So this, yes, is a live bearded dragon. Her name is Barbara. This is a dragon I talk about so much. And so Barbara, we've had her since 2020, right? What happened was that she was actually a rehome. One of her friends was like, Greg, we know you like lizards and dinosaurs and stuff. So she actually gave me a cool bearded dragon. Her name is Barbie. So I've actually made a couple sculptures of Barbie already, and Barbie has been my muse for many times. So I've actually live mused with live people and live mused with live creatures. So there it is. So what we can do, we can actually make a Barb, if you guys want me to see you do that, or you want me to do something else. So let me know real quick in the chat if you want me to go ahead and make something new, something different. And in the meantime, here, so masking tape is perfectly safe for animals and people. It's pretty much, it's made with love, actually. So, well, you know, whenever you have the masking tape, by the way, and you pull it apart like this, it actually creates electrical spark. It's really interesting. I'd love to show it to you. It doesn't seem to work out, but we're gonna do that. So I'll make a little itty bitty tiny barb right here, so you guys can see. And this, I'll make a little quick one until you guys give me some kind of a cool idea to make. But if you're gonna give me an idea, just go ahead and please feel free to give a super chat with that idea, and I'll honor your requests. You know, and try to make something cool. Watch before you buy. Hi. Wonderful. So right here, you have a bearded dragon. Her name is Barb. And so she's going to be, bearded dragons like things that are nice and soft. So, you know, I don't know about the whole aspect of eating it and stuff. Oh, you know what? The other day we got this thing here. I'm going to show you this real quick. We got this thing here. It's for a dog. Here it is. This is like for a dog and a cat and stuff like that. And so it's a dog and cat, but this is like kind of like a really cool thing. We got this at Five Below, and it's designed for for pets. It's silicone snuffle mat, you know, so distract the distraction toy. I'm gonna give it a try and see what it's like, because I've been meaning to do this for some time. So I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and rinse this off real quick and let her give it a try and see how much she likes it. If she likes it at all. So I'm gonna take these things apart real quick. All right, this little snuffle mat. So ooh, nice, thanks. So this here. Let me know pretty much what kind of sculpture you like for me to make, because I could make a masking tape barb or like a diplocalus like that. And so I notice there's a little echo, so I'm just gonna rinse this off real quick. Rinse this off. Oop. All right, rinse this off real quick. Okay, let's see if she likes this thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and try this little thingy here and see whether she likes this. I'm gonna pick her up and put her right onto it. Here you go. Try this, Barb. Let me know what you feel, if you like it or not. Oh, well, I don't know if she likes it or not, but it's definitely squishy. Let me see if she could put it right onto it. See if she likes it. Unless she keeps looking Deli. I don't blame you. Deli is fun to lick. Oh, she must have licked Deli like 40 times at this point. Okay, well, you gotta sit on top of Deli's head. Maybe you like the colors, you know? I don't know. Here, let's see. See if you like that. Let's see if you like this colors in this. See, it's kind of squishy. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go see what we can do. The Midnight Dragon, yo, what's up, the Midnight Dragon? Please give a thumbs up and a like if you come to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. And also, if you have any ideas what you want me to make, go ahead and let me know, because this is here. We have a bearded dragon, we have a Deli, and this is one of the sculptures I made a couple weeks ago when somebody suggested was to make an inchworm. So I made an inchworm. So here's this one. I'm gonna make a little tiny bearded dragon. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I'll make a little tiny bearded dragon, and so pretty much I'll keep me out of the picture. I wanted to just say thank you again for my friend Reina for the work that she did. I'm gonna put a better shout out on my Instagram. But for the most part though, this is how I'm gonna make a quick little dragon here. And so what happens is, like, bearded dragons are really cool to make. They're really cool to even look at. They happen to be one of my favorite types. My favorite is the geckos. Like the other day I made a gecko hand, right? And I'll show you the cool gecko hand. This is the gecko hand that I made, right? For a couple days ago. So this is like the hand. And you can see how the cool thing. I did a body paint yesterday and I used it pretty much in the show. But this is how, like, the hands of a flying gecko looks like. But if it was giant, it would, like, you have the little you know, all the laminae. This type of things where it's like kind of a thing where it touches the ground, and this is the stuff that sticks to the glass, the fingertips and stuff. It kind of goes on a little further. I just made it here because, you know, it's kind of like for us to have it all the way down our hand is not practical. We're more like a fingertippy type people, whereas lizards and stuff, they use more surface area. But that's beside the point. That's just me, how I understand it. But for the most part, though, when you have a hand like this, you can do really cool things with a hand like that. So there's the Barbie, and hopefully she doesn't like jump when I turn my back, because it's a long fall down, right? So I need you to just kind of stay there. All right, so she's there, looking the edge of the world right there. I wouldn't mind giving her a bug for you guys to see her eat a bug. That'd be great, right? But maybe not. Maybe not have her eat a bug for you. The Midnight Dragon says hi. The Midnight Dragon says yo. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of in the process of just kind of making a cool bearded dragon. Gonna make a little lizard first. Let's see what it is. Okay, cool, thanks. Right there. So yeah, it's pretty much, you know, it is tape, and this is what tape is. So it's not really food, but if she comes after, she might think it's a mealworm or something. Might come and lunge for it. Do you like that, Barbie? Oh, I think you do like it, huh? Okay, I guess she likes the green thingy. All right, let's see. So let's make this here. So what happens is this, right? We've been like just kind of getting ready for stuff. We've been watching like the seasons of The Walking Dead. We're up to season 8 of The Walking Dead. Those of you who are wondering, and watching the show with us, who know about the show, it's been pretty cool. It's kind of like a really cool show in terms of like just the stuff we've been learning. And see, I'm standing on a platform. I have a platform here, and so the thing is, Barbie's on the platform too. So this is usually an area of workspace that I have, and so what happened? I'm just gonna make a little lizard, a little version of her, because the thing is like this, right? When you work with masking tape, you can make any shape, any person, any size. And the thing is, like, when you do this, you can actually just go ahead and form some stuff. So I don't know. I think of any topic. Yeah, if you guys want to bring a topic up that I could discuss, do that. If not, I'll talk about some of the things I've been going through. And today, one of my friends called me, and we talked for a long time. And he and I were talking about some really intense things. I can't tell you all the stuff we talked about. I can tell you just a few things, but nothing related to what we talked about. I have to make it a generalization, just so that we don't, protect my friend from, any information. So for the most part, though, there was a situation where we're talking about something you said made me think. It said sometimes when you get through one problem, you're faced with a new and very entirely different problem. You have a different problem you have to face, And some of the problems that you face are because that thing that was in the way was blocking your ability to make a decision for so long, right? And so because of that, now you have that freedom. Now you can make a choice. Now you can make different things. And when you do that, you're actually set in a situation where now you have a deeper understanding about stuff. You no longer have to deal with the problem, So that's the thing. So it's kind of like goes without saying. Like, for example, the first problem kids have is pretty much finding food when they get out of the womb. How do we find food? And somebody else has to come and feed them, right? And then sooner or later, it's about trying to get up and walk, and then getting up and talking, not falling when you walk, and then riding a bike and different things like that. As you go through life, you're trying not to, you're trying your best not to, into situations where you are in a lot of trouble. You want to try and not be in trouble with the stuff that you're going through. So what happens is, like, you're faced with making decisions, and the decisions you have to make is solving a problem. So if you have some of the major ones, we have a lot of hangups. We as adults, we have a lot of hangups when we get to a certain age, right? We have all the stuff, the breakdowns, the breakups, the betrayals, things like that we've gone through. So when a kid is fresh and born, they don't have all the betrayals in the situations, and friendships gone rogue, and you wonder if the person is your friend after many years. You don't have any of that. Kids have just a blank slate, and it says, the thing about how their mind is pure. Remember from Gundam Wing, it's not that the inexperienced have no sense, it's just that they have no dread, they have no fear, because they haven't gone there yet. It's almost like the thing that says about confidence is when confidence is what it is when you don't understand the situation, is what you feel when you don't understand the situation. That's what confidence really kind of becomes, So you have this scenario where it's like, you're faced with a lot of decisions, and as an adult, when you get to adult level, right? I wonder, do you want any fruits or anything? Want some plants? I'll give you some plants real quick. I'll be right back. Let me give her some arugula. Give her a little bit of arugula here. There you go. There's a little bit of arugula right there. Okay, get a little bit of some of that there. Okay, so there's a little bit of arugula for her. And so what happens is, like, hopefully she eats some. If not, I'll just continue to make my merit. So this is the thing, right? So what happens is, like, you have to go through different scenarios and solve different problems. And kids don't have that problem because kids don't have the betrayal aspect. As a matter of fact, kids are brutally honest. So when you meet a little kid, kids tell you straight up the truth, But when you meet, like, an adult, adults tend to be like, they've already been through a world of pain and a world of frustration, So that's one of the things, like, I think about with kids. Kids have it where they're really, they're really cool. You get a chance to, like, have fun with kids, and kids really have fun. They go all out with their fun, And the fun that they have can be a little silly, a little dangerous, but for the most part, though, they are all about just enjoying life and just doing what they know to be fun, As opposed to, like, adults. Adults always have the air of they're trying to work an angle or something sometimes, or maybe they are trying to just have fun, but usually it's because they're trying to forget their problems sometimes. So many times people get really drunk and stuff. They get really drunk and they do stuff. Not because, so they do stuff not because I don't know. I can't speak for every adult because I can just speak for myself. When I have fun, it's like I'm totally engaged in, like when you go to a Chuck E. Cheese or something, and you have a chance to play some really cool video games. That's really good, because I get a chance to kind of be there with my kids. My kids are having a good time and not trying to impress anybody. And not trying to you're just trying to enjoy, have a good time with your kids playing games. Like we've been watching the show Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh my goodness, that show is great. My kids and I have been watching, while my wife and I were watching the Walking Dead, my kids and I have been watching the Star Trek The Next Generation. And we haven't got through season 1 yet, but we've gotten to season 3 or season 2 of Courage the Cowardly Dog. And that was something that was kind of an interesting thing watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, because at first when I saw it on Cartoon Network, right? Cartoon, right? We saw that there was actually an aspect of like, I didn't quite understand the whole thing about it, of how it all works, because when you watch Cartoon Network, because sometimes you only watch like one episode, and sometimes episodes don't come in order. So you see one episode there, another episode there. So when you watch the whole thing, right, in order from start to finish, you start getting the whole like angle of it all. You start getting the whole mindset that there is, there's almost like a theme to it. So what I've learned about Courage is that he does not like the guy. The guy's name is Eustace, and the wife's name is Muriel. So Muriel is married to Eustace, but Muriel was the one who saved him as a puppy. And so every time you watch the episode, there's an aspect where he absolutely loves Muriel, but Muriel loves her husband. And even though her husband keeps calling him stupid dog, that stupid dog, right? The whole time, it's just pretty much, Courage is so brave. He solves like every problem, So he's always dealing with all kind of monsters and stuff, and they're always trying to get them in the middle of nowhere, And so what happens is like when they go into their place, they're kind of faced with a situation where it's like they have to kind of solve this problem, solve a problem and deal with the issue. And so, incidentally, what ends up happening is that Courage actually solves the issue. Usually, sometimes he has help from Muriel, sometimes he has help from Eustace, but usually, at the end of an episode, Eustace ends up dead. And that's something I've kind of noticed over the time, how it works, And then so, what ends up happening is that in the show, you actually begin to see how really amazing it is that you have Courage is such a good dog. He is such a very, very good dog in terms of like he will go out of his way to save them. He says things I do for love. He says that quite often throughout the episodes. So there's an episode we saw the other day. Oh my goodness, the episode we saw the other day was one called the sand whale. And this episode gave no concern to logic. It just said to heck with logic. We're gonna just have this episode. And so you have like a whale that's kind of like jumping into the water, and the whale's like not in water but jumping through sand, and it becomes like a Moby Dick kind of thing, where it's like they're trying to figure out exactly how to do this, thing where it's like trying to save the people who are in the whale's belly, but the whale rushes through the house. Rushes through the house. The whale, it's just an unstoppable whale. I'm just like, my goodness. This episode was so good. Episode was so fun. I was like, you know what? This episode is just so ridiculous. I have to kind of enjoy it. One thing I noticed too about like the whole Star Trek thing, whole thing with Star Trek, is that there was such a huge emphasis. Data wants to be human, the next generation. I never quite noticed it. I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I must have been watching stuff with a different set of eyes, man. Because like maybe the hormones kicked in later when I got older. But for me, I just noticed a whole lot of stuff that I didn't notice when I was a kid watching this the first time. Because when it came out, it was like, back in the day, it was way back in the day, like 89, 90, around there, I think it was more like 90, because it's like 1990. Or I had to look it up and see when it was actually the Star Trek Next Generation came out, because I remember that was like the crux. That one set up the tone for all the other ones to come after that. So you have like all the different episodes, all the different things that come later. They were actually one of those things where it's like, they took from the Star Trek The Next Generation. And so that one, even I remember the last episode of it, I remembered like watching the different things. I remember one like just this couple episodes, my favorite character was Q, because he came up and he would just kind of wreck things, and they would have to solve it, because they had like different things in the old original episode. And the original episode they had where they had to just kind of solve problems. Well, this is very similar to that in terms of like the Next Generation. They had to kind of just go ahead and solve problems and do things. And it's interesting having a live muse. The muse actually walks around, and we were able to sculpt this one. And so, here, Barbie, there's some yummy things right here. That's what it says, yummy arugula. I think she likes that mat. I think I'm gonna let her have that mat. But anyway, so let's see how it goes. So it's kind of coming along. It's coming along. So what happens is like, in the story, you have it where it's like, you're constantly faced with different trials and troubles, and they keep solving the troubles and trials. So that's always fun. That's always a fun thing, because the way they do it is just like, you're not sure exactly how they're going to solve it, but at the end of the episode, they will solve it. I'm going to watch some episodes tonight with my kids, and pretty much, so like after we get done tonight, so I'm just going to do like an hour tonight, unless of course you guys have something you want to talk about or specific. But yeah, for the most part though, I'm just kind of making a really cool little bearded dragon here. Yep. So this is what's there. For the most part, it's like you have my real bearded dragon. Here's Barbie. And so here's some arugula for her. She wants to eat some, but she's just really enjoying just sitting there. That's a pretty cool thing about a bearded dragon. They're like really quiet, and they don't make much noise. So they're like the coolest pet. She's been licking Deli a lot. She's like, "What does Deli taste like?" Well, Deli tastes like, I don't know. I don't know what Deli tastes like. I've never had to take a bite of Deli before. I mean, he'd probably be toxic, but be toxic if it was real. Anyway, so what's happened is this, right? For the most part, though, Next Generation is really cool. Really cool show to watch. Oh goodness, careful! Don't go there. Don't go there. Yeah, don't go over the edge. Yeah, there's the edge right there. She's gonna go over it. This right here. She's all amped for the edge. So now she's gonna aim for the edge every chance she gets. See? Aim for the edge every chance she gets. Raise the camera a little bit. See, this is the edge of the world right here. So you go straight down. So trying to make sure she doesn't fall over the edge. She wants to go over that edge right there too. I should put a wall of arugula. She doesn't seem to want to pass that. Here's some arugula right there. Here's some arugula. Yeah. You want some of that arugula? There you go. All right, cool. Then I move the camera a little bit so you can see her. Because y'all don't come for me, came for her. Okay, there she is right there. So there's that. And there she is right there. So anyway, so there's this one. And there's the Barbie just right there. Go. Not sure. Okay. I keep hearing an echo, and it's weird. So let's just finish this up here. Just like, yep. Using a bearded dragon to make a bearded dragon. And see, that's the thing. Like, see, I'm able to sculpt so quickly. I can actually make a sculpture. And the sculpture of a creature that's actually there, or an actual person. So yeah, if you want me to make a sculpture of your Aunt Merle, or your aunt Gladiolis, Aunt Gladys, I can do that too. So, or even Uncle Henry, I can make that as well. So there you have it. These are some things I can make. So I don't even need a whole picture. I just need one picture or a few pictures, so I can actually be able to like make them. And yep, I can do that too. For the most part, though, it's been really good. Just kind of the stuff we've been going through. And so we're gonna go to a really cool place in a couple days. I'll let you guys know about that. But for the most part, though, I've been trying to be just consistent with the every Wednesday have a class. If I can't have it on Wednesday, then I'll have it like the following day. But last week I didn't have one, so to give you a heads up as to what happened last week, I forgot. Oh, I did tell you a little bit about that. My daughter was the muse in the class, and so I got a chance to actually put together. I don't want you falling over the edge, Barbie. She's gonna jump off the edge. She will jump off that edge. Okay, you see it right there, Barbie. Okay, there. All right, and it was just a piece of arugula. Right there. Okay, switch over. You see, when actors act, they usually don't act with animals, or they have a cut and different things like that, because animals are so unpredictable. So here's that. There's the bottom jaw. Okay, there's that. And you see like a lizard's foot. Here, the lizard's foot. Her foot is kind of like the longest toe is her ring finger toe, thing, and then the front, her longest is also her ring finger. So ring fingers are longest in the lizard situation. In mine, I made the ring finger not so short. Oh, I made the ring finger here. This is short. This one actually should be way longer, if that's the case, But I kind of want to make it because it has the web feet between. You got the webbing in between the feet, so you have that there. That's why I made it as such. But yeah, I used to have a beard flying geckos, and those were my favorite ones. And the reason why they were so cool was because they had the ability to glide. Or mine didn't fly because there was not enough space; it would just crash into the wall. But the thing was, like, if they had enough space, they would have been able to do the flying thing, which would have been great. Yeah, she's found the edge and she wants to just kind of just chill by the edge right there. So everybody say hi to Barb. It's Barb and the lizard. And so it happens like there's making another lizard right here, as you're just seeing that. So we're making that. So this is made out of masking tape right now. So for the most part though, I hear an echo. I'm not sure where the echo is coming from, but I keep hearing an echo. Echo. This is weird. Echo? I don't know. I keep hearing echo. So anyway, so this is that one here. So I'm not even wearing I have a microphone on my head. So this is here. This is the thing. This is the feet. This is a real dragon right here. Bear dragon. Her name is Barbara. She's leaning on Deli. Okay, so we're looking at little feet and little muscles. Let's go ahead and add some more details to that. All right. She's gonna jump off this edge. She's gonna jump off this edge. Yep, see? There you go. Fell right off the edge. I knew it. I told you. You're gonna fall off the edge there, girl. She's gonna jump right off the edge. Right onto this thing. You don't do that. You don't go there. You fall off the edge. So, okay, she fell off the edge of the world. But I caught her before she fell into the plants down. Alright, so here's this one, this one, this one. Yep. Okay, now see the bear dragons have a little hoodie head. Right, the back of her head is a hoodie. They have a little protruding little headpiece right there. So I'm gonna angle the camera this. I should give her a mirror. So they kind of just give her a little something to chase. Here you go. Here's a mirror, Barbie.